Hi, I'm Patrick Delahanty, and I'm here at Animation on Display AOD 2015. It was held January 31st through February 1st at the Hyatt SFO near San Francisco International Airport. Now, just before I started, somebody from the Hyatt came by and asked me to make sure I don't display any Hyatt logos in this. So throughout this entire review, you will not see any Hyatt logos. They will be blocked out with other things. And so anyway, about the convention. I was here last year, just about in the same spot doing my review. It was my first time here, and so this time I get to come back and see what's changed. And last year was the first year at this hotel, and they've made significant improvements, particularly in respect to the layout. Last year they had main events out in a tent. It was kind of a hike to get to. There was it was different. They had video games in small rooms. This year they've got video games and other gaming out in the tent, and they've moved main events inside, and I think it worked so much better. Video games, you've got PC gaming, retro gaming, console gaming. They have a bring your own console area, but nobody was using it when I was out there. And there's also a tabletop gaming area. And in the middle, they have a stage area where they can do special tournaments and performances. And so it was a really nice setup out there, and any type of gaming you want. And it was a good crowd, but you could find a spot easily if you needed to. Moving inside, we had, there's 2 video rooms, and they were showing stuff all weekend. And there's, I believe, 5 event rooms. And if you look at the schedule here, see here, you can see there's some gaps in the schedule programming, which seemed odd. I don't know if they didn't have panels to put in there, or if they just wanted to leave these empty. But one of the things that stood out was Against the Masquerade, there's not too much counter programming there. So you had options. Once the Masquerade starts, you could go to YouTube Horror Stories, Karaoke, and Fan Fiction panel. And then they did a speedrun Q&A, but that was it. Then there was stuff at night, and so that was good. Starting at 9 p.m., there were some 18-plus panels. I went to guest swap stories, and then AOD guest played Cards Against Humanity. And the Cards Against Humanity, that was packed, and it was hilarious. It might have been packed because it was almost the only thing going on at that time, but that definitely needs a bigger room next year, and I'd love to see it come back. Today they've got a bunch of panels going on. I'm going to be doing Do Anime Conventions Have a Future with Kevin McKeever from Harmony Gold, and so that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. And let's see, there's also video rooms, event rooms. There was karaoke in one of the event rooms. There's a dealer's room and artist alley combined. The aisles, walking in, the first thing you'll notice is the aisles are fairly large, so there's no trouble walking around. A problem I see at a lot of dealers' rooms is that they try to squeeze in too many dealers, which means that the space to walk between the aisles is small. And AOD definitely avoids that by having spacious aisles, and it probably cuts down their dealer count as a result, but that's fine with me. There's still a wide selection of stuff. You could get toys, plushies, t-shirts, and all sorts of products, keychains and whatever. And in the back of the room, there's the artist alley, and there were a lot of artists there. I'm guessing, I don't have the numbers, I would say it's a third dealers and two-thirds artists, even though it was split half and half. Now in the back of the dealer's room, on the artist alley side, they also had some industry booths, and that's where guests were doing some autographs, and they had Sega showing off some stuff. I'm trying to find the map of the room here. Yeah, so you can see industry booths are over here, artists over here, and then the dealers were in these 6 clusters, and then the edges here. And yeah, it's good layout, and yeah, no problems with that. The guests they had, there's a fairly wide variety. They got some voice actors. You've got Robbie Damon, the voice actor for Tuxedo Mask. They've got Marianne Miller and John St. John, Duke Nukem, and a bunch of others. They've got artists. They've got creators. Martin Billany, Little Caribou is here. They've got Ken Pontac, writer from Happy Tree Friends and Lazy Town. There's and Kevin McKeever, who I mentioned. He's from Harmony Gold, Robotech, and we'll be doing that panel later. Went to the Masquerade last night because I was in the Masquerade last night. That's why, unfortunately, I won't have footage of it because I entered it. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of great entries, some good skits. Also, our skit was pretty good, we think, because we got awarded Best Presentation Runner-Up. So, pretty happy with that. And yeah, had a lot of fun doing that. It took up most of that day, but I finally finished my Amon costume from Legend of Korra. So, happy with that. Yeah, also there's one last thing I'll mention is there's a maid cafe. I've shown footage of that at Kraken Con, and they've got the same thing going on here. It's in a room, so you can just go get in line and go in and get served by maids and butlers. And so a lot of people love that sort of thing, and it's available. Food options here at the Hyatt SFO, where I can't show their logo. There is a buffet, Sunday brunch buffets right back there. And so I had a room last night. The rooms, by the way, are really nice, especially for cosplayers. It's a good place to change. And there's a huge full-length mirror, and you will definitely appreciate that. And a lot of the rooms overlook this central area, and some face outside, but you want an inside one if you're part of the convention, because you can look down and see everyone. And there were some people up there earlier, but they're gone now. There's one bank of elevators, so it's kind of a pain because people trying to get up to the atrium that don't take these escalators for some reason are taking elevators. And everybody in this whole area has to use one bank of elevators. But anyway, there's a place to eat back here where they do brunch, and I was thinking, oh, I'll go put my stuff in the car, check out, and I'll come and do brunch. Well, surprise, surprise, brunch is $46 for an adult, and it's crazy. I mean, if it was 25, I'd be like, oh, that's a lot. I don't know if I want to do that. I saw 46, and I was like, no, I'm reading this wrong. Is that like, no, it was $46. Even the price for kids was insane. If you've got a 13-year-old, $46. If you've got a 12-year-old, more than $20? No. So don't eat brunch there. Oh my God. There is a Knuckles sports bar over there that's pretty good. I ate there a bunch last year. We ate there last night for the Masquerade. They've also got the hotels serving some food down by the registration area, and that's much more reasonably priced, and you can get a good meal for $10 or so. And but yeah, I've blurred out I've done stuff to their logo on those menus because whatever, it's Hyatt. It's the Hyatt SFO. I'm not showing their logo like they asked. Anyway, also down here we've got the registration desk. No registration. It seems to move pretty quickly. In fact, so quickly there's no line. Granted, this is Sunday afternoon, so there's not many more people coming in. But I did notice that even yesterday, after the line goes away, they've got stanchions there that they leave up, which kind of creates a bottleneck, because on one side you get the food and the food line, on the other side you've got registration, and 1, 2, 3, like 4 rows of stanchions with lines. And so it means people trying to get by either cut through the registration line area or they have to squeeze around. They may want to consider, after the lines die down, moving the stanchions aside and letting it be an open area. And I think that's all there is to mention about AOD. Next year, they're moving to February, And maybe that's because this is Super Bowl weekend, and from what I hear, the Super Bowl is in San Francisco next year. So best to not be on the same weekend. The Super Bowl actually should be starting soon after I record this. But go Patriots. And yeah, it's good that next year it'll be pushed back into February, which also gives it more space between SAC Anime and this convention, because there's only a month between them, and now we'll have a month and a half, which is a good time to get costumes ready and get prepared. So yeah, next year they're February 18th to 20th, so after Valentine's Day. And so yeah, definitely if you're in the San Francisco area, you should probably come down here. They've got a good artist alley, nice selection of dealers, plenty of stuff going on, and I had fun and had some fun last year. Oh, one other thing. Last year I had talked about the parking situation, and I had that long sped up video where I had to walk through that shady area to get to my car because the hotel, the Hyatt that won't let me show their logo, wasn't letting people who weren't guests at the hotel stay in their parking garage. Well, that changed this year, and apparently anybody can use the parking garage this year, which is good. And it did get full around 1 p.m. on Saturday. You could probably find a spot, but at least that meant there weren't even more people having to go find other places to park. So parking's still a bit of a challenge, but less of a challenge than it was the previous year. And so that, I don't know if the con had anything to do with that, or if it was just a management thing from the Hyatt SFO that won't let me show their logo, but that was definitely improved, so I liked that. So anyway, if you were at AOD, I would love to hear from you. I know I saw some people that watched the podcast, and come on, write in, let us know how it was. You can email us at podcast@animecons.tv or call our voicemail line at 762-ADEQUATE. That's 762-233-7828. And we'll use it in our feedback episode coming up in 2 weeks. And so, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.